All right, this is real new technology for us, but we're having fun. This is my mom, Tita. She's 90 and a half. This is Maria Pilar, Roselle,
Almost 60.
59 and a half. So we decided to do a fun video. Some of you have asked us, oh, how do you do the arepas? And I said, well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what to do. So mom, Tita, this is welcome to the Blue Morphos Untold Stories from the Andes, Tita's kitchen. um, Mom had told me these stories when I was a kid, and these stories sometimes had ghosts, right? Fantasmas,
Yes.
a little bit of ghost or things that were just bump in the night, and you kind of thought about it. And mom was born in 1933, and she started hearing these stories from her grandparents' farms, and she herself sometimes heard sounds from all these farms. And during COVID, I realized that I needed to put some things down. I wanted to write. Most of us did a lot of reflection during that time, and I actually, with the assistance of my daughters and mom, wrote a book, and it's called The Blue Morphos, Untold Stories from the Andes. There are 5 stories. 4 of them are from my mom telling me things and my own imagination. I'm one of those, like Twilight Zone buffs. I love kind of things that go bump in the night and quirky stories. So we wrote the book. We put it on Amazon. And you'll find the link at the bottom of this video. And I was just always fascinated by insects. I'm an only child, and I used to play in the backyard and looking at the ants and the butterflies in Colombia, and here too in the States. When I arrived at the States, I went to school, went to college, and one of my classes was entomology because I wanted to know and a little bit about botany. So today. These stories not only talk about those things that made you think about what could it be, right? What kind of is it an alien? Is it a ghost? Or what did they hear in these homes? But also about the flora, the fauna, the folklore, our customs. So with that, I'm going to ask Tita. So Tita, you introduced me to the harina, right?
Yes.
The flour.
The flour.
This is maize. This was actually created by a Venezuelan engineer, and it's a Venezuelan powerful, delicious flour that we've used all our lives.
From Venezuela, it's a long time ago.
Yes, yes. Well, it's
they-
made in different places. Yep, yep. But here, the flour. This is the flour that we use to make those arepas, which is a cornmeal. It's a flattened cornmeal, and it's easy to make. And I'm going to first show you what the ingredients, what we'll use, which is very simple. Now, in the back of where did we got it? Well, we got it at. I ordered it on Amazon, but I also went to a store. Some of the Latin stores carry, and some of stores have Latin sections. You could ask for, this is the best one, the harina pan. And you're going to need salt. We just happen to like this salt. Well, you also, this is interesting because we have the harina pan, which is from Venezuela. The butter, which is one of our favorites, it's from Ireland, Kerry butter. The bowl is Italian from Home Goods.
And I don't know where the salt is from.
The salt, I'm not sure, but yeah. So what you need obviously is a big bowl. We're gonna measure in a second, and you have to use obviously a little pinch of salt, the butter,
also they need a little sugar.
Right.
Put a little sugar.
A pinch of sugar. All right. So I mentioned, yeah, obviously we have the flour. I had to do a little cut there. And mom got the sugar, pinch of sugar. Now, just a little bit, less than a teaspoon, just a little bit of a tasting. In the back of the harina pan, we measured in this pot. We have that we're going to put it actually in the heat in a moment. We measured 2.5 cups of water, pinch of the sugar, and a little bit less than a teaspoon of the salt. And just very quickly, I'm going to cut from our delicious Irish butter. to make Colombian arepas from Venezuelan flour. I just cut about a teaspoon off. Excuse me, hands are clean. All right, and then we also have, we're going to be using this here in order to do the cooking. You could use the spatula. You can use a grill, and this grill happens to be the one that we like to use because it's easy to turn. So we're gonna come back and I'm gonna show you a photo that we're just gonna put the 2.5 cups of water, a pinch of sugar, teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of butter. Okay. Do I sift? Is there a need? No. We've always had really tasting arepas. There was no need to sift. So the Venezuelan engineer, realized that, back then people were cooking the corn and then, grinding it, and it was a lot of work. So he figured a way to get the corn and the flour ready. Here we go. And you can make different things. And Pan has a website, PAN. I'll put it in the link. And they have different recipes and things. I love is that, in our world, we can learn so much from each other and each other's cooking, and just have a good time for making it, and with Mom. Now in the book, one of the stories, they are looking for a lost child, and comfort food also for breakfast is to make arepas, the cornmeal. So think of it as, the Belgians have the Belgian waffles. We have the arepas in the morning. Colombia, I grew up with that, and eggs. All right, so we have our flour, and I'm gonna go over and bring over the warm water. Now, in the instructions here in Pan, it just says, the water, the salt, and obviously the flour. But Mom's secret, you add a pinch of sugar, and you add that pinch of butter. The butter was a teaspoon. Okay.
The butter is very tasty for the arepas.
Yes, because that's what you're going to mix in. Now, I don't know if you can see, but the butter melted, and we have mixed in there, obviously, the salt and the sugar. So very carefully. It's warm. We like to put it in the middle and just mix up. Yeah, so this is the recipe that my grandmother and my mom taught me. Now, there's a friend of ours, Susan, who just went to Machu Picchu to visit, and she had asked me how the arepas made, and there are a few other friends. So I said, you know what? We're going to make this. The book, the Blue Morphos, I think it was obviously me as a kid remembering that I wanted to share. I think we're definitely on this earth in order to share, have a good time. Whatever you don't like, and whatever is nice, you absorb and you learn and you share how to make. So what you do is little by little, obviously, you keep mixing it. Mix in little parts. And so Susan, you'll see this. I hope you see this. For making of the arepas. And we make it, for instance, Sunday morning. It's great. And you make scrambled eggs. You could even eat
Coffee.
with coffee. Could be Colombian or from wherever. Let's see. Here we go. A little more. So it's giving you a nice consistency, because I'm going to make balls out of this and then flatten them out and then put them on our grill. Not grill. Here we go. All right. So almost all of it is done. And I think I was mixing a little bit, but we're good. This reminds me of, what is it, ceramic class? When we're mixing all this. So one of the stories is very special because my cousin Nellie, she told us to us, and it involved my great aunt who loved her garden and how the birds loved her because she took care of them. She fed them, gave them fresh water. And then when she got sick, it was a beautiful thing that the birds did. All right. So one of the things, I think Mom says obviously to mix que quede bien, mixed real well. And please forgive us, first time doing this, even by video. Yeah, it's a nice consistency.
If you want to put more water, just do it.
Yeah, if we wanted to, but I think it's good. I think
Yeah.
it's good. All right. So one of the tricks that Mom also taught me is you take a clean paper towel carefully. Now this is nice and warm. So what you do is you cover with a little bit of butter. All right. Okay. So now what I'm gonna be making and I think it's a little moist, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of flour. Just a pinch more. And I'm gonna mix with my hands. They're nice and clean.
Yeah, it's better.
There we go. Now corn. How interesting is that? Corn, specialized grass. Specialized grass that grew to such a form and such beautiful native species as well. Different colors of maize. In Colombia, yeah, corn is used for, what else do we make with corn? The arepas,
Soup.
Yeah, with the soup.
Tamales.
Yeah. Here we go. So make, and then flatten it out. Mom's gonna be.
Make it a little bigger.
Okay, I'll make it a little bigger. It's fine. It made it. Mom says sometimes I'm what they call chambona. That means that I do things a little bit quickly sometimes. Well, I know it's not as cute, but I got stuck on my finger. Here we go. There. And this is actually a bracelet that my cousins got me from Colombia. It's beautiful artwork. A lovely artist made that. Okay. So a great thing is also living in the States, having our backgrounds and sharing it. In the book, I take you even to exploring. I remember before I was 10, I was in Colombia, and the outdoors, love the outdoors. You learn so much. You also learn not to touch a beautiful caterpillar. Spikes are actually poisonous. My poor thumb at 5 years old was like the size of a golf ball. And they sprayed it. Yeah, I saw a gorgeous caterpillar. I said, cute little thing, touched it. And then the blue morphos, because I love butterflies. I think it's amazing that an animal can look a certain way, pass certain stages, and then develop and grow and get as big as, develop into another type of looking animal, which is a butterfly. And we saw in Colombia, we saw a lot of the blue morphos. And I once tried to catch one. Do you know when they close up their wings, they're brown, so you can't see it. So I'm going to finish some of these more. Takes a few minutes, and we'll be right back. As our director, producer, Katie, my daughter says, action. So we've passed, let's see, about 15 minutes. 15 minutes we have been, my mom has, they're almost ready. We have been turning them over. You don't want to burn them, but you want to have this nice golden look to them. We cheat a little bit more. We take a little bit more of that curry butter, and we just lightly touch the tops, and obviously we flip them over. And you don't have to make them circle. I was having fun, and I make this one looks like a rectangle kind of thing. And there you go. And then Mom can flip that one over. Yeah. Mom, when we would cook, she would tell me stories about she lived at my grandparents' farms sometimes, and my grandparents were great grandparents were farmers. They had 3 different farms, and the book is based on different stories, different things that they experienced, and the book gives you a bit of the, like I said, the flora, the fauna that was surrounding them. And when they would work in coffee fields, the workers would go out, and my grandparents would go out, make sure everything was going well. They would bring arepas. Now, we were talking while we were cooking these, my mom was saying that arepas you can have when you're mixing the flour and you're mixing obviously the water and a bit of a butter and the salt. You could also put in cooked chicken or cooked meat and mix it up so that when you are cooking it, you already have the meat in there. So you have your protein as well as your flour. Careful, don't burn yourself. Mom's also making my older daughter's wedding gown. Don't burn your fingers. She's sewn since she was 12 years old. Now at 90 and a half, you're doing good, Mom. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is what we're going to do. I put out some plates and I laughed. I said, because the flour is Venezuelan, the butter's Irish from obviously Ireland. And then we have, I looked back and I'm like, oh, what is this? Oh, Japanese. And then I looked at these, and these are Liberty Blue. This is English. We actually bought these.
And this is made in China.
That's right. So we have a whole international thing going on here. Mom, can I have one, please? Una arepa?
Yeah, but
and don't worry, Katie, we're saving you an arepa too. She's our director, producer.
Big or small or medium?
Katie, which one do you want?
Oh, the small one. The smallest one. Yeah, that little one.
Ese no está todavía. This is not ready yet.
Oh, no, that one's not ready.
This is this.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So here we go, live. We have to feed the crew. And there you go. You can make scrambled eggs, like I said. You could have actually. Yeah. You could actually have. Well, this one's yours. No, we're gonna taste it now. We can have steak with it. You can have. I don't think I've ever had fish with arepas.
Scrambled egg, anything.
Yeah. You think of it as obviously it's a bread. It's a bread that you're gonna eat, and we're gonna break bread.
Yeah.
Look at that, nice and warm, and the outside is crusty. Here you go. Nice and soft. We just want to thank you. We're going to put the links on what we use. We just want to create an experience and have the book come to life. So we'll put all the links and share with your friends. Let us know if you have any ideas or recipes. We're going to start making some Colombian recipes so we can share. Lots of hugs. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ciao, pescado. Bye.
Bye.